Hey everyone, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. So for today's pick a card, someone in the comments recently mentioned, and I've been kind of thinking about it, about a career reading or wanting a career reading. I think I posted a soulmate reading recently and someone in the comments mentioned a career reading. So I thought, hey, let me do a career reading. So I'm kind of in the mood to do one tonight. So yeah, today's career reading is going to be, what are your hidden career talents? Or what are your hidden career gifts, or what kind of talents can you utilize in a career? So basically we're going to be talking about the different types of jobs that you would be good at, or that you have natural talents in, or that you would feel a sense of fulfillment in. We're going to be talking about what fulfills you and also what you can capitalize on. So we'll have a few different options laid out in those regards. I don't even know what cards I'm pulling yet. I'm keeping this very open-ended and kind of spontaneous. So let's get into the groups. We have group 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for group 1, we have the Arrowhead. So a friend just gifted me a bunch of cool arrowheads lately, so I decided to use them in the channel. So we have this Arrowhead for group 1. For group 5, I'm not sure what some of these stones are. I know this is Jade, but group 2. Group 2 is this triangle, we'll call it triangle stone because it has that kind of texture. It's been cut into a triangle. But I think this is an agate, so we'll just call this agate. Mystery agate, we'll call it mystery agate, but that's group 2. Group 3 is this green jade. So group 3 is the green jade. And group 4 is another mystery stone. I think it's a form of Jasper, a dendritic Jasper. So it's kind of like yellow and gray. So we'll call it yellow-gray dendritic Jasper. I decided to pull from some of my crystals where I actually don't know the names of them. I thought that'd be fun today, just to show you guys stuff that I collect that I don't necessarily have the names to the crystals. So we're going to be going based off those kind of names. I might just even have like groups 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the timestamps and not have the crystal listed. So just keep that in mind. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. All right, so you can pause the video here if you need more time to choose your crystal or arrowhead. And without further ado, let's get into group 1 with the arrowhead. Right now. Hey, group 1, this is if you picked I don't know, I was going to call it obsidian arrowhead because I had one of those when I was a kid. This is just an arrowhead, but if you pick the arrowhead, then this is going to be your reading. So let's get right into the reading. I'm going to be pulling, I'm actually seeing this Crystal Wisdom deck. I feel like I want to pull that too. So let's see. I kind of have a lot of ideas for what cards I want to pull for this reading. I have 4 decks right now. So if other things come to me, I also have the Astro Dice here that's going to help me out a little bit. But I want to pull an archetype card. We're actually going to be getting away from the animal oracle cards in today's reading. I know I normally have some kind of animal card on my channel, but let's pull one of these archetype cards and see what is coming in for your career potential. We have Gambler. And this Moonology Manifestation card is going to kind of represent... maybe I'll even pull a tarot card for those two. Okay, so this Moonology Manifestation card is going to represent kind of like your power move is kind of how I see it, or like times when you could be best in your career. And we have first quarter moon in Scorpio, release your blocks. I'll show you guys that card. And that's going over there. And I'm pulling a new tarot deck today. I don't think I've used this deck on the channel. It's called Universal Fantasy Tarot. And I really like the artwork on these cards. And there's a lot of different interpretations that I get different from regular tarot cards. So let's see how many. Oh yeah, I want to pull. Sorry, I'm like shuffling. I'm all over the place. First group like gets the experimental. Like I decide what cards I pull for the whole reading based off the first group. So I'm going to pull some career job focused cards, and this is going to help me get a handle on your talents. We have the Rebel. Let's put that over there. I'm going to pull a couple for you guys. And each group's going to be getting different cards. So if you feel drawn to, if like some of your talents are not discussed in this reading, or you feel like there's more to uncover, feel free to watch another pile if you are drawn to do so. Okay, let's draw the rest. We have and we're gonna pull some tarot cards for all of these careers. And I want to pull from the bottom of the deck. For some reason, I feel like that is dealing with your guys' depth as people. Let's see. Are all these gonna fit? Yeah, I think they will. Let's see, yeah. Okay, let's flip over your cards and see what you got. So for your first career card that I'm going to be reading, as far as like your talents go, we have the Rebel, and that's paired with the tarot card, the High Priestess. Your second like kind of skill or hidden talent that you have is we have Health, and that is paired with the King of Cups. Your third hidden talent or skill that we have is Motivator, and that is with the Five of Pentacles. And your last talent we have is Animals, and that is with the Tower. God, you guys, I cannot tell you how excited I am to get into this reading. I don't know, I'm just feeling energized for it today. Like it just feels good, like a good reading. Let me look over your cards and I will get into your reading. Okay, I kind of want to get right into the reading. I'm seeing a few things right off the bat, but I just want to kind of get into your talents right away. So your main energy here is represented by the Gambler. This is kind of your personality in a sense. So we have willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Something about you, group one, is that if there's kind of like a situation in life where you have to take a risk, you're not afraid to take that risk. If there's a situation where you have to lay it all on the line, you're not afraid to lay it all on the line. You're definitely the risk takers of basically the piles today, I think. I haven't gone to the other three piles, but so far I'm feeling this is kind of like a risk-taking kind of vibe. The thing is, people might actually be concerned for your safety typically, but the truth is you have a strong intuition that's always pointing you in the correct direction. It's just that to others, you seem to be taking risks because your intuition is always pointing you to the correct course of action. With this arrowhead here that you picked, I'm definitely feeling kind of like the idea of like, you know, you have this target, right? And you kind of hit the target. There's something about like having your eye on the prize. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. Is you're the type of person that always has their eye on the prize, and you have your intuition enables you to get to that prize very effectively, very easily. It's interesting because your personality in general kind of leads into your first talent. So your first talent we have here is the Rebel and High Priestess. We see here that your intuition, oftentimes with the High Priestess here, leads you to rebel against the conventions of society. So for example, most people in society might follow a certain path or a certain way of being or something like that. Or they might kind of like, instead of listening to their intuition, it's like most people kind of just follow what the crowd does, or they follow what other people like ask of them, or they kind of listen to the facts of a situation and they kind of base all their decisions off those facts, or they base their decision off the groupthink and the common knowledge. With the High Priestess here in the Rebel, I'm getting this interpretation of the High Priestess of someone who has their intuition, but it's very different from the people around them. It's like their understanding of reality is so accurate and so true, but no one else can see it. So you guys might feel, just in general, I'm getting into more psychological stuff right now, but you guys might feel as people that you have this kind of way where you kind of feel left out in a sense, like you do feel isolated or more like a loner. Although I am seeing this kind of gambling instinct does make you popular with specific crowds of people who are into risk, people who are into excitement, people who are into like spontaneity like that. Although I am seeing that there is a sense of loneliness because there is a sense of isolation, or the fact that your group that you run with is kind of isolated from society in a sense. And that's just because your intuition is always pointing you to the accurate moment. You might actually notice that like you're in a sense a trendsetter. You might be a trendsetter with like fashion or something like that. Although I'm not seeing fashion particularly in the cards for something that is coming up for your hidden talents of career. So it might be something you already know. But one thing that is interesting is with the Rebel card, this newspaper is burning, right? And one thing that I'm noticing is that it's like your knowledge comes from almost like the destruction of like what you think is true. You know, you always follow your intuition. It's like you could be reading newspapers, you could be reading books, you could be reading all this stuff about what is kind of true in the sense of like what other people find to be true or from sources that find to be true. But no matter what, it's like you burn all that information in order to follow your intuition. It's like no matter what, you follow that intuition at all costs. It's not even like, I feel like for you guys, it's not even like a question. It's like you always have to follow. And with animals here, it's also about following your instincts, although I'm seeing that's kind of a tricky area with the Tower card. But what I'm seeing for the most part is you always follow your own intuition in the face of kind of adversity or the rest of the group. There's something about kind of like using your intuition is kind of like, I'm getting the vibe of like the Knight of Swords. Like the Knight of Swords, he's flying in the face of the breeze. Like the wind is blowing the clouds opposite him and he's flying with his sword pointed in the direction, like taking his argument and forcing it kind of into the other direction. So there is this kind of sense of rebelliousness. Yeah, right here it says you're a trailblazer meant to see things differently and set a new path for others. That's so true. It's like the people in your group that follow you are definitely like, how do I put this? They fare very well with your intuition. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think that if you guys are in a career, doing something that requires you to follow specific sets of guidelines or rules or ways of being in a career is not going to be a good career for you. Your career is going to have to involve some risk. So some examples of this, you might not want to be in a career where you have to, like I don't see you guys mainly being like an accountant, for example. Like there's something more along the lines of being like a sports figure or someone who's into like, if you're a physical person or you have a very physical way of being, you're someone who enjoys like kind of calculated risks like that. I definitely see you could be someone who might enjoy like the stock market or might enjoy like investing their money or something like that, or making their big move by investing money when they feel like the time is right. It's definitely something that's interesting because you're going against the way that most society views things. So it's almost like when other people are like selling their stocks, it's like you're buying or vice versa. So I'm definitely seeing something along those lines where it's like you need to be in a career. There's something coming with your career talents where you have a way of viewing the world in a different way than most people do, than the common man does. I feel like this group has a set of close friends that view the world the same way they do, and you treasure them for like life. Like I feel like that's like your family. So something that's coming through is the fact that like your group sets the standard for everyone else. So something in like trend setting would be beneficial, or it could be like something you're really into. With the High Priestess, you see these future trends very, very easily. It's like you're very in tune with how things are going to play out, how things are going to develop. So one thing that's coming through is like a career where you're not afraid, or where people expect a different opinion, right? A career where people are expecting a different opinion that they know is the right opinion. So you could be some kind of advisor, but the thing is with this card, I'm seeing that it might help to have some kind of bona fides, right? Like some kind of thing that like backs your intuition, or something that kind of like most people view as like a set of skills or something like that. Even though you're basically basing it all off your intuition anyway, it's not like you're using this set of skills. It might benefit you to have some kind of bona fides, or like have gone to some kind of school or some kind of institution. I'm seeing that would help your career. But for the most part, people are going to really respect your opinion, because truthfully, I feel like if you guys have clients or something like that, over time, your clients are going to realize, oh my gosh, they're right. They were right all along. I have to go back to them. They had the right idea. They had the right intuition. They had the right thing. Look how successful they are. They made the right money move. They made the right move in there. So it's like, yeah, I'm just seeing in general like this sense of a strong intuition and the ability to go against the grain, even when people are saying that you're wrong. Basically, you know you're right and you go against the grain, and then later it proves that you're right, and people might come back to you being like, I thought you were crazy, but turns out what you did worked out really well, you know? So that's one thing that I'm seeing with the Rebel and the High Priestess. And that career skill is kind of going along the lines of like with the Gambler card, going along the lines of what your natural personality is inclined to do. So I think that's why it's showing up. It's because it's kind of like a reflection of who you kind of naturally are. Also with the health card, we're seeing some skills here in the sense that you have a lot of experience, which you might not realize, but you have a lot of experience with your own health. You may have gone through a lot of health issues, or you may have just have really good health in general. Either way, somehow you have worked with health specifically in taking care of yourself or in taking care of your body, taking care of your health, taking care of your physical fitness. This could be exercise or something like that, like I mentioned with the sports thing earlier. But mainly this is something with your health. You've been through a lot of health difficulties, or you've taken care of your health in a specific way where you've solved a lot of health issues. We also have the King of Cups here, and I'm thinking of the typical healer who has centered himself and has aligned his own energy and is able to kind of work the energy around him. It's interesting because I'm visualizing like Poseidon as this King of Cups with the water swirling around him. You know, we have a sea serpent here and stuff like that. And what I'm seeing is you have like healing hands or healing water, or like there's something about like maybe one thing that you encourage people to do oftentimes. You might tell people all the time, like you need to drink more water, or maybe you live by the fact that you drink a lot of water. I feel like something with health is really beneficial for your career. It's something about the hidden talent is kind of like how you've worked with your own health. So if it's for some of you, if you've suffered from like a mental disorder or something like that, or you've suffered from some kind of physical condition or some kind of physical handicap, I'm seeing that you could have a good career in healing others with that same handicap. There's something about how you healed yourself. You know now how to do that healing, and so you can heal others. So this could be Reiki energy healing if for some of you. For others of you, you could literally, maybe you have healed yourself with like homeopathic remedies or something like that, or you've dealt with like herbal herbs or something to like help heal you or something like that. There's something, maybe you're a crystal healer, you use crystal energy to heal people, but there's something about healing, something you've done for yourself to heal yourself that is in, how do I put this? That other people want. It's like other people need this healing because they want to feel centered in their life. You know, it's like the King of Cups is like the card about like the chaos around you, but you feeling centered and at calm, totally zen with whatever happens around you, you know? And so I'm definitely seeing that like with the health card, it's just that your health is kind of like your center or your compass. And it's just showing me that you can teach other people that. So that's something to consider if you're looking for a career in that way. Something with your health could benefit other people. Like you could teach them the same thing you know. Another thing here is we have motivator. I feel like you're really good. It's funny, I'm giving you the career reading, right? But with 5 of Pentacles and motivator here, I feel like you're really good at getting people out off their butt and into action. I feel like you would be good at coaching, speaking. It says, I'm reading it right here. It says coaching, speaking, lobbying, activism, or mentoring. And it's interesting with the 5 of Pentacles here, I see you take people who are really down on their luck, who are kind of like have no other options left, and you help motivate them into better life circumstances. That's another one of your career skills. So finding a career where you have the ability and you can actually motivate people. So things I'm seeing so far in this sector is like with the intuition and the healer card, you could be some kind of therapist or crisis coach, especially with Gambler and the Rebel here. You could actually be a coach of a team or something like that. I'm definitely seeing that that could be something here, like something with strategy involved in it. But yeah, with motivator, you have a skill of taking people who are in the like gutter of life and bringing them up to your level, or bringing them up and beyond your level even. You might send people like beyond you in a sense after you've kind of dealt with them. There's something about kind of lifting them up and then pushing them onwards so they can travel on their own path. Another thing we have here with animals and the tower, this is coming through interestingly enough because I see that you have a dark. This is kind of interesting because this is something that is a career move or something that you could involve in your career that might be beneficial, but at the same time, it's represented here by the Tower card. So basically what it's saying is you had some kind of traumatic past with animals. So whether that's you're really scared of animals or animals frighten you or something like that, but also fascinate you, there could be something like that. You could work with wild animals, and maybe you worked with a wild animal before and you got bit or something like that. And so it like deterred you from working with animals. There's some kind of thing with animals where, and also with animals, could be working with animal spirit guides if you're into more spiritual coaching, working specifically with animal healing with people, or like healing people through the use of animals or something like that. But there's something along the lines of the animals being with the Tower card here, something that shifted your perspective, something with animals kind of shifted your perspective. Maybe working with your own spirit animal shifted your perspective. This is also something that maybe if you get in touch with your own spirit animal, like an animal that like really means a lot to you, and start working with that animal's energy. With the Tower card here, it could really shift and change things up for your career. But I do see a kind of traumatic past with animals, but it's also coming through saying that if you heal this traumatic past, that traumatic past with animals is going to give you a deeper understanding into the nature of like human beings and motivation, and how all animals, including humans, exist on this planet. And so it's interesting because you have this high priestess energy. You already have a really strong intuition, but this animal thing, healing this animal factor in your personality, is going to help help you work through those things about like people's darker or more animal instincts, basically, and kind of incorporate those into your career. Yeah, with Rebel here, I'm seeing like trailblazer, someone who does new things or something different that the crowd doesn't normally do. I see you could build a lot of friction with this type of career, but at the same time, you could build a loyal following, even though it will be a smaller following. With the health card, I see a more form of popularity, you attracting a wider clientele, more people who are into this specific thing. I see a lot of people need this healing. And with the King of Cups here, I see that this is the area of the career. It's a hidden talent, but it's something you've mastered. This is something you're really good at because you've healed yourself so effectively and efficiently that you're really good at this. It's like something you could really teach others. Motivator, I'm definitely seeing that you help people, but it's like you are better helping people who are at the lowest of the low. So if you want to work with the less fortunate, if you want to work with the sick, the needy, if you want to work with people who are poor, if you want to work with the homeless, this is the best kind of career for you if you're looking to work with those that are less fortunate. I'm saying that being a motivator or some kind of coach or speaker is going to be beneficial there. And if you're looking for that self-growth in your career, if you're looking for that transformation of like some fear that you had and you want to turn it into a strength, you want to kind of overcome those fears, working with animals is going to be very beneficial. Now, lastly, I want to get into first quarter moon in Scorpio, release your blocks. Something that you might find beneficial for this group is working with the energies when the moon is in Scorpio. Also, Scorpio season in general could be very beneficial. And also with release your blocks, when there is a first quarter moon, doesn't have to be in Scorpio, but that is a good time to release any blocks that you're feeling about your career. So for example, if you're kind of trying to make moves into a specific career, but you have like a fear that you're not going to succeed, that would be considered a block. When the first quarter moon when the first quarter moon is happening, I believe that's when the new moon is going into the full moon. It's like the first, the halfway point between the new moon and the full moon, as the moon's going from new moon to full moon. In that time period, that would be a good time to release your blocks, or basically as the new moon is growing into the full moon, releasing blocks during that time and kind of working on that at that time. Other blocks that you could have, I'm going to try and see if I can find any blocks that you might have yourselves with these types of careers. One block you might have, this doesn't really have to do with your effectiveness as a motivator, but one of the motivating blocks you might worry that you're helping so many people and they're like surpassing you after you help them and you'll never actually get ahead. And that might be something that you're worried about. I'm seeing that as a strong block. So if you do choose this motivator career, focus on that or manifesting that between the new moon and the full moon and release that block that you yourself can achieve success as well as the people that you help. So that could be something that could be beneficial. Blocks with the animal thing, I'm seeing that it would be very beneficial in this time period. And with the health thing, I'm not seeing too many blocks with this. As far as I can see, the health career path, it might be the one that is the strongest indicator. So whatever kind of health stuff you've gone through, the fact that you've healed yourself. I see you becoming, with the motivator card here, I see you becoming kind of like a coach for that kind of journey for others, or healing others through your kind of ability. You know, that's kind of with these two cards. These two could be combined, you know? If there's any way to combine all of these, I would say that's your best chances for a good career. But no matter what career you choose and what elements you know, and there could be talents you have that you didn't see in this reading that are still talents you want to work with. This reading is not the be all end all. And like I said, you can feel free to watch another pile if you feel like there are more talents that you have for a specific career. So yeah, that's all the information I'm getting for you guys today. If you enjoyed this reading, please like or comment below. I'd really appreciate that. If you really enjoyed this reading, you really resonated with my energy, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, we're going to move on to the second group with the mystery agate. Hey, group 2, this is if you picked the mystery triangle agate. It's kind of shiny because of the light, but I thought this was pretty, and I bought it because I didn't know what it was, but I was like really into this cab. So yeah, that is your crystal group 2. Let's get into your reading. I'm going to pull a archetype card to get your general personality energy, something that you can kind of resonate with as you in this reading. And we have, oh my gosh. Okay, look at this, guys. I had this many cards flip out to represent your personality that all flipped out right now. So the fact is I'm actually going to take one of them. I don't know if you guys have ever seen another reader do this, because I'm just thinking of this off the top of my head. I'm going to take one of them. Whichever one needs to come through the most. But I'm telling you, people watching this channel, for people watching this pile, sorry, if you resonate with any of these archetypes, I mean, we have prostitute, companion, Samaritan, vampire, addict, servant, and destroyer. If you resonate with any of those, basically, you know, that this reading is for you. But I'm going to be taking one of these, and this is going to represent the kind of combined energy that everyone in this group has, basically. I want to take this one, and we have vampire. Perfect. Okay. Feeling those like dark and mysterious vibes for this group. Let's see. Oh, and we have make time for self-love and take a reality check. We have 2 Moonology cards here for this group. I'm going to move these over here. Remember, you guys, this vampire card is not all there is to you. This is just coming through as the thing that's going to be talked about for this particular career reading. You had so many archetypes come up for this group, which means you guys are very multifaceted. You have many different aspects to your personality that are going to be difficult to unpack in, you know, like for this one specific position. That would take like a whole, like, what is your personality reading, or, you know, all the depth of like your character and stuff like that. We're just getting into career stuff today. So if I would recommend going to another reader and getting a reading on that, or more about your personality, to be honest, because you got so much stuff coming out. So I'm thinking that you guys might have just a very multifaceted personality. You might have, you know, I'm even vibing on the fact that you guys might speak in different accents or something like that, or you might have different ways of communicating that are very, how do I put this? It's like people see many different people in you. It's like people could say that, you know, on one hand, you seem like a different person at different times. And one thing I'm seeing with the vampire too, I haven't even drawn the rest of the cards, but one thing I'm seeing with the vampire too is there's a certain amount of charm that you guys have. I'm thinking of the typical idea that vampires have this kind of charm about them. Okay, I'm going to pull your career aspects right now. And today we have a new deck on the channel. It's called Universal Fantasy Tarot by Paolo Martinello. And I got this deck a while ago. I just haven't used it on the channel, or maybe I have used it on the channel once or twice, but I really feel like I haven't. So Let's see what you guys get. I'm not getting any cards flipped up upright, which to me is just indicating that you guys might not know about any of these talents that you have, or there might be some kind of, there might be more of kind of like a fact that you're not aware of your, well, I mean, that's probably why you're at this reading, but there might be like, you might not know like where to start in your career like at all. You might be kind of at ground zero or something like that is what I'm kind of feeling. For those of you who have more of an idea, that's fine too. But let me flip over your cards and we'll see what you guys got. We have spirituality, okay, with the tarot card Knight of Pentacles. We also have promoter with Page of Pentacles. And then we also have the Office with 10 of Pentacles. And we have Counselor with 5 of Swords. Okay, one thing that I'm seeing about you guys right off the bat, I'm kind of sort of looking at cards, not really, with the vampire thing. I just want to get back into this vampire thing real quick. I feel like you guys are very, very charming, very, very charismatic, but I actually feel that you leave yourself empty a lot of the times. It says here, it says, makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. And I definitely think you guys have felt this in your life. It's like you have the charm, you have the charisma, you have the ability to kind of charm others, but other people drain your energy. It's like, and it leaves you kind of empty in a sense where you can't use your charm effectively on other people, you know? It's like your power is being stripped from you. And I'm seeing that that has had a disastrous effect on career opportunities and career abilities for you in your career. It's like you have felt drained and tired from specific jobs or something like that, or types of jobs that kind of took their toll on you. And I see that you're maybe coming to this reading because you're looking for some kind of talent or skill you have, or you're looking for some kind of a way to look at what kind of career will not drain my energy? What kind of career can I use my talents but also not feel drained, right? Okay, I'm seeing actually a couple things for you guys, and this is really cool. Because I'm seeing one thing I want to point out real quick with the vampire that I like is something that is coming to me very obviously is like with the vampire card and having your energy drained, making time for self-love with the last quarter moon in Libra could be something that is beneficial for you in regards to your career. Specifically in the moments where the moon is transitioning from a full moon to a new moon, that might be good times for self-love or self-care, or really taking the extra time to do little I call them mini vacation activities. I definitely incorporate these into my own life. I'm the type of worker personally who sometimes can get too revved up in the energy of my work and burn myself out. So what I'm seeing for you guys is you might be similar in that way, or you might just feel tired or drained from your work activities. So making time for self-love, this is going to be something that's going to be very beneficial for you. Libra season in general is going to be beneficial. Venus energies, like Venus placements, or when Venus is transiting specific planets in your birth chart. Basically, I'm seeing that like that is a good time for self-love, a little vacation, a little time for the self, a little recovery time. I'm seeing that would be very beneficial for you guys and really bring you back to your full sense of energy. Let me look real quick at these cards. Okay, so with spirituality and the Knight of Pentacles, I'm seeing one career thing that you could be really good at is definitely, I feel like your spiritual journey could lead you to a career where you have slow and steady work. Like you have actually an ability to kind of keep moving forward in your work. If you want consistent work, if you want work to always be available, it's going to be in something with spirituality. We have this woman looking at tarot cards here. So something about being a tarot card reader or something like that, or doing something with your psychic abilities. I'm saying that for a lot of you, you have psychic abilities, but at the same time, you're not quite sure how to utilize them. Or you're not quite sure, let me put it this way. It's like, you're intuitive, but you're not aware that you're psychic. And so I definitely see that a path to spirituality is going to definitely be beneficial. And I see that a lot of you, in a sense, like This is kind of a contradictory message to what I just said, but I feel like a lot of you are very spiritual people. You just don't know how psychic you are, basically. It's like you're on this path to spirituality, or you maybe read tarot, or maybe you do something along those lines. But what I'm seeing with the Knight of Pentacles, I'm seeing that this will provide you slow and steady work. I see like you're always going to have work available with spirituality. And spirituality is a very broad term, right? This could be in, discussing spiritual theories with people, like philosophy. This could also be discussing, doing tarot card readings for people. Spirituality can also be healing, like Reiki or something like that. But I am seeing tarot cards here with the spirituality right here, and it's almost like divination. I feel like divination for you could be very beneficial, predicting people's futures, telling them about different things, helping them plan different activities. And with the Knight of Pentacles, he's kind of a visionary in and of himself too. But it's interesting because I'm seeing a lot of like financial return in this type of job for you. Specifically financial return at a like solid, slow and steady pace. So if you're looking for the type of career in your life where you get consistent work throughout your life, this spirituality career path would be very, very beneficial. I see that there's a lot of movement in this path, possibly even travel, that you might get to experience a lot of travel, but you're going to get slow and steady work with this spirituality career, basically, if you do decide to capitalize on those talents. Also, what I'm seeing here with Promoter, with the Page of Pentacles, I'm seeing something that could make you feel kind of young again or make you feel youthful, is a career as a promoter. And promoters, like I'm seeing, is very broad. I'm actually looking at what it's written here. It says careers in the nightlife industry, events, or restaurant industry could be right for you. I'm mainly seeing the nightlife industry, or like industries where it's like music or events or restaurants or things like that could be very beneficial to work in, because I feel like they will contribute to a youthful appearance. And also with Promoter, it's interesting because I feel like something about your looks is very something that would be very like, it's kind of a career thing that you could use. I feel like something about how you look could contribute. Companies might want to hire you based on how you look to promote their services, because your face is the image their company wants. So that's just something coming in. It's a little more of a superficial trait. It's not really like a talent or a skill, maybe. I mean, I guess, looking pretty can be a talent or a skill. But basically what I'm seeing with the Promoter card is it's like basically doing something in the, with nightlife industry, events, or restaurant industry could be right for you. I feel like being in those types of environments or promoting an environment could be beneficial in this way. I definitely see something that could be beneficial is dancing. I mean, I'm looking at this girl dancing. She has all the lights behind her. So I definitely think that having fun is really important here, and doing something with like in the realms of like the nightlife. I'm seeing nightlife mainly in this particular career path. I'm seeing maybe that you work well at night. So any kind of career where it's like you're working at night, I feel like that's your kind of natural time to be in. It's interesting with the Page of Pentacles here, he's literally holding a sun. It's like he's holding a pentacle, but he's holding the sun in the palm of his hand. I'm seeing something along the lines of you take the energy of the daylight into the nighttime. And so you provide that positive energy at night, where most other people kind of get wrapped up in kind of like the chaos of the shadows of the night. I see that you actually have that ability to take your own like shining sun energy into the nightlife activities and provide that kind of light for others. So I feel like you're more attractive at night. People actually are more drawn to you at nighttime activities, or specifically at restaurants. Like if you go out to eat, I feel like people will be checking you out or looking at you from across the room or across the table. I feel like specifically at restaurants, it's because it's like a life-giving energy. It's like people are nourishing themselves. So I'm seeing that with the sun here. It's like when people are nourishing themselves or having fun or something like that, or relaxing, I'm seeing that you have this way of providing more energy in those relaxed environments to like bring more benefit to those people. Something interestingly here that's coming through, a hidden talent of yours that is actually going to bring you with the 10 of Pentacles. It's going to bring you like this career path could actually bring you loads of success. Like I'm talking money beyond your wildest dreams. And I know this is going to sound crazy because it's like office work, right? It's a career in administration or management, right? And if you haven't discovered this side of yourself, I'm seeing that this could be very beneficial. Yeah, also it says manage your time better and or delegate tasks to be more productive. I'm seeing that that could be very beneficial too, like working with a team or working with a group and working in kind of like an office setting or working with people who work in an office. I'm definitely seeing office work in general is something that I know this is going to sound crazy because I know you guys are very spiritual people and, probably creative in a sense, but I'm seeing that you're that type of person that wouldn't mind kind of boring, repetitive office work. It's like you could find a really high paying office job and just be content with doing that office work day in and day out. And it's like, for some reason, other people would struggle with that. Other creative people, other spiritual people would really struggle with that type of office work. But I'm seeing with the 10 of Pentacles, you actually would enjoy it because it gives you that sense of isolation away from others where you're not getting your energy drained. It's like you only have to work in the office situation, working with paperwork, working with forms, stuff like that. And once you get a method down, you actually really enjoy it because I see that you get to spend a lot of time in your own head, a lot of time with your own thoughts. I'm seeing here with 10 of Pentacles, this is coming through that like you might also, with not just the office work bringing you success, I'm seeing that you also, something with your family or people in your, that you're connected to through with money might do office work. And so there is some kind of opportunity where you can, capitalize on the other people in your environment who are doing office work to create your wealth empire, basically. And that's where the kind of consider careers in administrative or management roles comes in. I see that you could be more of a director. I feel as if you delegated tasks, that would be very beneficial. One thing I'm seeing with the 5 of Swords and counselor, this is actually coming through. I know it's not a 4th career talent, but it's coming through as something that would not be a good career for you. So as far as like a counselor goes, you might find yourself counseling people quite often. But we have it paired with the 5 of Swords here, indicating that like there might be power struggles when you're trying to help people. So you might have in the past, like people might use you to vent, or people might use you to say certain things to, or kind of dump all their crap on, But what I'm seeing here with the counselor card is it's like, you have this ability, this skill to be a counselor, but I'm seeing with the 5 of Swords, you wouldn't feel happy in that type of career. I feel like a very traditional counseling position, like maybe becoming a therapist or maybe a career counselor or something like that, you would not benefit in, because I'm seeing with the 5 of Swords, there's a lot of egos that you would encounter in this type of career. A lot of people who are basically have kind of like think they're better than you, or you think you're better than people or something like that. There's something about an ego difference that gets in the way of the counseling mission, I'm seeing more so if you want to get into something with counseling or spirituality, I'm seeing definitely learn to read tarot cards because you'll be really good at it. I'm seeing that any form of divination is going to be beneficial. Any type of career where you are actually the one sharing the wisdom and not necessarily listening to others, because it is actually listening to others that is what is draining you the most. It's like listening to others is that factor in the job where it's like that's what's kind of draining. I feel like in superficial environments where you don't have to listen too much, like this promoter career where you're either working with nightlife or busy areas where people are kind of keeping to themselves, I'm seeing that could be very beneficial for you as well. It's like, for example, like with the restaurant job that I mentioned over here, it's like if you're a server or a waiter or waitress, the small talk is very minimal. You're basically just focused on your job and you get like tips for that, for your charm. I'm seeing with your vampire abilities, you have this like sense of charm about you and you won't be getting your energy drained as much. But the counselor job, it's like the only thing you're doing is just putting yourself into a hyperactive state of listening, which would be detrimental to someone like you, I'm seeing. So that's something that's coming through as kind of like a warning. I feel like egos would be like strong here. And I feel like you internalizing and getting your energy drained by someone talking to you and you constantly having to listen, I feel that would develop controversial attitudes between both people that would be counterproductive to healing in general. You would much better be in a career with the spirituality card, where something with a more spiritual mode to your career operation, or something that you kind of do, even something from a distance, like psychic healing from a distance or something like that, or something where you don't have to work in one direction with the energies. And also I'm seeing office work specifically, like if you guys are thinking like, there's a few of you who came to this pick a card who you're thinking like, my spirituality is not that developed. I don't plan on reading tarot. I don't see a career in spirituality. I don't think I could get enough, work or something, because the Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady work. It's like constant movement forward. It's like slow progress forward. The Ten of Pentacles is that goal at the end of the line where you have enough money to support your family, you have enough money to support your children, you have enough money to pass down money to others. So I definitely see through delegation and also through office work or working in an office where people are kind of minding their own business is going to be kind of the best option for you as far as like working, helping with that energy management, basically. It's just that I'm seeing too with the office, it won't utilize your natural charm. Is what I'm kind of saying. Your natural charm is more utilized by this promoter career is what I'm seeing. So these are things that you have talents in. You might have noticed that you work well with people who are more in the entertainment area, or you work well with spirituality, and you work well with kind of typical office work or things that are like paperwork based. Full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check, is quite interesting because I see that sometimes with your career, your fantasies get the better of you. It's interesting. I'm seeing with the full moon in Capricorn, specifically Capricorn season might be very beneficial for your career. It might bring a lot of blessings. I'm also saying with take a reality check and the full moon, it's kind of like every full moon, if you kind of assessed where you're at in life, right? Like if you used every full moon to assess your life situations and your career and where you're at and what you've learned. It's like take a reality check is basically just saying like look at your world in a real fashion. Specifically during the full moon is going to be very beneficial for you. It could be beneficial for you specifically with office work too. It's like to make a check of your finances every full moon, or every full moon kind of look at what's going on with your career or how far you've advanced in your career. Are you happy in your career? Look at yourself in a real sense. Like take a reality check, all the fantasy aside, all the adventure aside, look at everything as in a very real state and kind of see like, okay, what do I need to do from here on out to change my life? You might want to self-analyze, or specifically with the tarot cards. I am saying that you guys might be really talented with tarot. But if you use tarot cards, maybe doing a spread for yourself every single full moon to get a reality check of where you've come from, where you're going, and kind of like what you need to do to get there. You know, kind of go through the steps like that. And also make time for self-love, what I was mentioning earlier with last quarter moon in Libra. Libra season might be a good time for a vacation, and also last quarter moon in Libra, just last quarter moons in general, as the moon, after you've assessed with that reality check, kind of putting it aside and letting yourself relax more often than not before the new moon. Because I'm saying from the new moon to the full moon, you might get really busy and really active in your career typically. Or you might have more clients, or things just might be seen more busy basically. Remember, when I pulled all those different cards at the beginning of the reading, you guys are very multifaceted people. You probably can put on different roles like at the drop of a hat really easily. So these are kind of career options that are the main things that I'm seeing for you as far as like talents that you have and even hidden talents that you have. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap the reading up there. I really enjoyed reading for you guys today. If you like this reading, feel free to like or comment below. If you really enjoyed this reading, you resonated with my energy, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I post pick cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks, and we're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot, so we'd love to have you. With that said, we're going to move on to group 3 with the Jade. Thank you so much for watching. Hey group 3, this is if you picked the green Jade right here. This will be your reading. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna pull your archetype card for, oh yeah, we have Pioneer, wow. I already have a card coming out. And we're also gonna pull you a manifestation, Moonology manifestation card to get kind of like your kind of power move. Something to help you on the spiritual or timing level. We have believe in your good luck. I'm already liking this pile. This group. Okay, let's get your career talents or your skills or areas of career interest that you would be good at. going to get some tarot cards to represent the energies. Well, these tarot cards are basically just going to give me a little helpful understanding of the career talents. They're going to paint a fuller picture for me for the reading. So, and I want to pull one from the bottom right here. Okay, let's see what you got. So for your first talent, we have Planner with the Two of Swords. For your second hidden talent or secret talent, we have the Artist with Five of Cups. For your third talent, we have Retail with the Chariot. And for your last talent, we have Gaia with the Three of Wands. Okay, let's get into some of your talents. So first we have Planner and Two of Swords. This is coming through as your first talent. Actually, I'll start with your, like I did with the other groups, I'll start with your personality up here. We have Pioneer. This is a person who, with this light bulb here in the heart in the middle of it, this is someone who generates ideas or who has good ideas or brilliant ways of conceptualizing different things in the world. I feel like this group is my group that is like able to use logic pretty well, or is able to come up with significant ways of thinking in different ways that other people can enjoy. We see that again here with the Artist card over here. So one thing that I'm seeing with Pioneer that represents your personality is you guys might like to trailblaze, or you might like to go on adventures or go on journeys or kind of discover new things. There might be a sense of discovery that fuels your intellectual ideas. It might kind of be this back and forth. We have it again here with Full Moon in Sagittarius. There's this adventurous mindset with this group that you guys probably like to go on adventures. You like to blaze new trails. You like to discover new things. You like to search for new things. You like to experience new things. And I'm seeing that that actually fuels the ideas that kind of are created in your head. So one of the things for your career that I'm seeing that could really just, if you want to integrate your personality into your career, finding a way to explore often in your career, and also find a way where you can actually use those ideas from exploring to benefit people, or to sell those ideas, or to make those ideas into a product or something that you can capitalize on, is what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that as kind of like in some of these career paths, that's like really kind of reiterated here. So let's get into it. I'm really happy to read for you guys. This group in particular, I feel like maybe you guys actually could use this reading, or you're really kind of could benefit from this type of reading. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my voice. I got some water, so if I start coughing or anything, I'll have the water nearby. But with Planner and Two of Swords, we have the fact that you're probably a really good organizer. Despite the fact that you're very adventurous, despite the fact that you are kind of an idea person, you are also very good at organization. With Two of Swords, you're actually pretty good at helping people make choices or decisions, or weighing different pros and cons in their life. It's like that is where your intuition naturally shines. It's like if someone has two options or two paths to go down and they're kind of debating it, you have this ability to kind of help them effectively make the right decision using your intuition and your planning abilities. I'm seeing here that your planning instincts and your organizational abilities don't only just come from the fact that you're organizing your environment, right? I see that your organization abilities come from your sense of intuition, come from your sense of making choices without having all the facts. You mean, we have this woman here who's blindfolded. You know, she doesn't have all the facts or all the information, but she makes a plan anyway. She doesn't have to research fully what she's going to do, but she does make the plan. She follows through with it. And that's the thing with the Two of Swords. It can be a choice typically when we get the Two of Swords, where it's like the both options, there's no clear winner, right? It's usually a stalemate choice. It's like you can choose one or the other, you know? And so really you have to kind of just close your eyes, put that blindfold on, and kind of pick a path. And one thing that I'm seeing is you help people do that and pick those paths. And I definitely see with your planning and your organizational ability, you help people find new ways of moving through life and kind of making the next step in their life when they feel like they're at a stalemate or they're at something that could be beneficial too is if you could be like someone who's like a professional organizer of people who maybe because their own life gets so chaotic they can't make a move forward. It's like there's those people who get like analysis paralysis and that are like super messy and maybe not that it's like people who have their own disorganized nature kind of confuse them. I feel like you would be a very good person for them as like either a personal assistant or someone who is able to somehow organize their life effectively to help them make better decisions or to get them in the better flow of kind of moving forward. Because Two of Swords indicates a stalemate. I see that you really have this ability to, without much foreknowledge of a person's life, have this ability to plan and organize their life in the most effective way for them. This is interesting because this is showing your intuition with people and how you understand different people. I'm seeing that these different ideas you get for organizing different things for people's lives. I see that this is something you might do just offhand or with other people around you or with your own life. And I'm seeing that this could be definitely something that you would have a really successful career in if you chose to do it. I am seeing other talents too though, so I'm going to bring those up. And obviously I'm going to leave it up to you, but if there's some career where you could integrate all these talents, that'll probably be your most successful career. But if you can only integrate a few, that's like better than none, right? So yeah, especially if you're resonating with this reading, this could be good information for you guys. With the artist card here with Five of Cups, I'm seeing this as kind of like, for some of you, this is a hidden talent. For others of you, you've discovered this talent already. But I'm definitely seeing you have this way of designing things and organizing things in a visual sense that with the Five of Cups here shifts people's perspectives from a mindset of lack to a mindset of gratitude. The Five of Cups, there's the 3 cups spilled, and then there's the 2 cups that are full. And I'm definitely seeing that one thing that like people do when they look at your art is they say like, you know what, I have more to be grateful for. Or you know what, this art is making me feel like a feeling I had when I was, 5 and I lost, my toy truck and I never forgave myself. And I really wanted that toy truck back. And I always remembered how I didn't have it. But now that I see this piece of art, I realize that it was gone for a reason. I mean, this is a very specific example. I know I'm using a very specific example, or a situation I'm talking about, but this is kind of the effect your art has on people. It makes people feel grateful to be alive. It's kind of one of those beautiful things where it's like people, through looking at the art that you create, have this ability to kind of appreciate the world more. It's like the art you make makes people appreciate the world. It makes people appreciate the beauty in the world. So there is something about you being an artist, you being kind of like a creative person, as well as a planner, which is very interesting. It's a very cool combination is what I'm seeing. And so there's something about when you're exploring these concepts or exploring these foreign worlds or places, it's like the ideas you get might be an idea to create a work of art. It might be an idea to create a painting or to create a beautiful like landscape or something of somewhere that you visited. I'm seeing that these paintings, when you show them to people are really appreciative. They say, wow, that makes me feel so much at peace, or that makes me feel so much better. I feel like people who are in a negative mindset, when they view your art, it switches it into a positive mindset. So something that you could really capitalize on, because, people love to feel happy. People would rather be feeling happy than miserable, like most of the time. Some people want to feel miserable, but I don't see you working with those people. But yeah, I feel like your art makes people feel happy, makes them feel like lighthearted, makes them feel good. I see that also, the artist thing might actually be something that in a paradoxical world is that you view yourself as not having, but I'm seeing with the 2 cups here, you actually have some artistic ability. You're just not capitalizing on it, or you're not using it to its full extent. Another talent that I see here with the retail card and the chariot, I feel like you would be really good at sales in a sense. I'm seeing with the chariot here that your ideas that you get on your journeys or your trips, the ideas that come to your head, those inspired thoughts, you could really cash in on those ideas. You might think some of those ideas are just whimsical ideas that don't mean anything or don't have any basis in reality or something like that. You might feel like your ideas are not worth too much. You just might think they're just simply ideas that you're thinking and, possibly sharing with people. But for the most part, your experiences are creating these ideas, and it's your body is synthesizing your experiences into action plans to alter the world, to alter your reality, to alter the world around you. And so when you think of these inspired plans, these inspired ideas, what's happening is it's actually creating ways where you can actually make money if you capitalized on it. I'm seeing here with the Chariot that one thing that I'm seeing is would be a great if you worked with those ideas that you had, because one thing you could sell a lot, like whatever you're thinking of, like if you have an idea for a business, that's your goal, that's your green light for your career. If you have an idea to do something, that's your green light for the next career path. It's like your own mind is going to be better than this reading in the sense, right? That's kind of what this retail card's saying. Specifically, if you have an idea where you want to sell something or you want to sell a product online or something like that, this is giving you the green light to go for it. I'm seeing with the Chariot here, one thing that's going to be beneficial with this kind of idea thing, when you have the idea to sell something, with the Chariot here, you will have the motivation to carry it through. So if you're worried about having the motivation to finish or do it, it's like you're going to have the motivation to carry it through, because this idea came from you. It came from your experiences, your journeys. It's like your idea. I'm definitely seeing also with the Chariot too, if you run out of ideas or you're feeling stuck in your career, if you do choose a kind of sales type of career, to go and travel and do a little bit of traveling, even if it's just around your hometown or something like that, even if it's something small, but doing some form of traveling is going to be beneficial to get more ideas, to get that retail and kind of sell those ideas to other people. Yeah, this card also talks about e-commerce and businesses online. So I definitely see something along the lines of a good career for you, especially because you guys are kind of travelers or explorers, would be to have an online career, because you could just take your laptop or your phone with you wherever you go and work your career from your laptop or phone. I'm seeing that's very beneficial, because I see that this pioneer part of you, this explorer mindset, is something that's really integral into your personality. It's really something that keeps you alive, inspired, and fuels your heart. So I'm definitely seeing taking a business. I'm seeing a few things here. We have oh my gosh, how did I not notice this before? We have a tablet here. We have a laptop here. It's one of those interesting things where it's like working from a tablet or a laptop, or working remotely, or maybe creating your art while you're on vacation or something like that, or planning or organizing people through a virtual job rather than a job that's in person, could leave you time to be free and explore in the ways you want to explore, and kind of come back with those ideas for life and for your nourishment and for your business, right? Like, it's going to be really cool, because I feel like if you're working from remotely, basically, or you're working while you're on vacation or something like that, I'm definitely seeing that one thing that's really cool here is that you might get inspired ideas, and your clients might actually enjoy your work more when you're working in a different land or a different place or a different location. It's like you have this ability to, when you move to different locations, to kind of get different inspired ideas, and that fuels that energy in your career. With the Chariot here, it fuels your motivation. This is kind of already something I've mentioned in the reading, but Gaia basically means like spending time with nature, spending time with the earth. You might, on your vacations or your trips, want to go to really remote places. So for example, you might want to do a hike, and it's interesting how the computers are coming through here as well. So you might want to go to places where it's really grounded in the earth, but there's still Wi-Fi or something like that. And definitely with the Three of Wands, I'm seeing this guy is traveling. He's kind of on this ship where he is traveling overseas, and he's kind of flying above the lands, which is kind of interesting. So something that could be beneficial for you guys is a job where you get to fly on planes and go to different lands or go to different places. I'm seeing this is all very beneficial for you. Something I'm just going to throw out there that seems a little left field for you guys, but might actually apply, is that you might actually work well with nature, with working with animals or farming or something like that. And with that said, it's like working with the earth, digging your hands in the actual earth, like whether you have a garden or whatever that means for you, or working with the earth, working with crystals, something like that is going to be very beneficial for your health, essentially, as well as traveling. Another thing that's interesting, I see that sometimes you guys with this light bulbs in your head, you might think that your light bulbs, your ideas are not that exciting or are not worth too much. It's like your idea, you don't feel like your idea is worth anything. But I'm telling you, your ideas that you get from exploring and going around places and taking in more information, those ideas are genius ideas. You're a pioneer. Your ideas are the first, you're like on the cutting edge, basically, of the trends, essentially. And with believe in your own good luck, you have to believe in these ideas to give them the force and the power to turn it into something that makes money. With first quarter moon in Sagittarius, believe in your good luck, I'm definitely seeing that it might be beneficial to think of a lot of these ideas or write these ideas down or revisit some of these ideas after you've written them down during a first quarter moon, whenever that is. I'm seeing that during a first quarter moon, or when the moon is going from a new moon to a full moon, revisiting your ideas and looking at which ones you want to work out, which ones you want to work through, which ones you want to implement. Something like that is going to be very beneficial for your career success because you'll have a clearer head in those times. I'm seeing that like the other side of the situation, from the full moon to the new moon, you can still look at ideas and think of ideas and stuff like that, but they might not be as good, or like your art might not be as like, how do I explain this? It's interesting. I'm seeing that like implementing the plans would be beneficial from the full moon to the new moon. But with believe in your own good luck, I'm seeing that believing in yourself during this period and doing affirmations and kind of working through those ideas and seeing which ones are the best ones for you is going to be very beneficial. And just in general, believing in your own good luck is your power card. It's like, no matter what specifics of the timing, I was even feeling with this reading that the timing wasn't going to be as important, or this moon card wasn't going to be as important. So just in general, I'm just seeing that believing in your own good luck, believing in the fact that like you are blessed in this lifetime, you know, like no matter what you choose to do in your career or what path you go down, you can always, you know, escape it. You can always get out of it. But at the same time, it's like no matter what you choose, no matter what you do, there's like good luck for you is what I'm saying. It's like, in believing in your own good luck, the more you believe in your own good luck, the better you're going to be in your career. So yeah, I think that about covers this reading. I'm going to end the reading there. If you like this reading, please feel free to like or comment below. If you really enjoyed this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. With that said, we're going to move on to the last group, group 4, with the Dendritic yellow-gray Jasper. Hey, group 4, this is if you picked the yellow, gray, dendritic Jasper. I don't know how I'm gonna, at least that's the last time I have to say it. I think after that, I don't have to refer to your crystal anymore. So that's good. Let's get into your reading. So we're gonna pull an archetype card to represent your personality, and kind of like your personality with your career, how to kind of unlock your career abilities. And then we're gonna be covering specific stuff down here with the tarot cards and the career cards about specific skills you have or talents you have or things that could benefit you in your career, what you could. Okay, 2 cards are coming through, and right off the bat we have Don Juan and Destroyer that I'm kind of seeing right here. Right below them we have Servant and Knight. So I want to say that this is kind of representing that it's like Servant and Knight seem more like positive words, and Don Juan Destroyer could be more like negative words, but I'm definitely seeing with all 4 of these, it's like, I'm definitely noticing the colors actually, and how they kind of relate to the higher chakras. So that's kind of interesting. You guys might want to work with your crown chakra or your third eye chakra. We also have be proud of yourself. I'm going to move this over here. And let's look at your careers that you would be good at. Some hidden talents, some special skills. Let's see. Okay, and then I'm using this deck, the Universal Fantasy Tarot, as my tarot deck today. I don't know if I've used it on the channel before, but I just wanted to pull it out. I think I've used it like once before, actually, now that I have gone through the other piles today too. So let's see. And yeah, the rest are coming out pretty easily. Okay, so let's see what you guys have for your tarot cards and your career cards. We have Crafter with the wheel. We also have Teacher with the Death card. And then we also have Laborer with the Ace of Pentacles. And Justice with the Devil. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing a few things here. First of all, these two cards are coming out a little bit differently than they did for other piles. I'm seeing that with Don Juan here, it looks as if you've been in a situation where you have been more focused on relationships or love, or I guess playing the field kind of with people and situations, and kind of just exerting your charm on one and all, right? I'm definitely seeing that you may have had more, with Destroyer here, chaotic relationships in the past, or whenever you get into romantic situations, it's almost like those romantic situations take a toll on you, or they feel like they destroy you. And so I'm seeing that you're kind of coming to this career reading to kind of focus on a different topic than you normally do. I'm seeing that it's interesting because I'm seeing that this is kind of you're going through a transformation period, right? Where you're going to go through a period where you're leaving behind some of your seductive lifestyle qualities in order to emerge as a new person. We have the Volcano here in the Destroyer card, indicating that there is something building inside of you that's about to erupt, some kind of hidden talent or secret desire that is building in you that is about to erupt. So we're going to be going over some possible skills that this talent is going to entail. And what I'm seeing too with this card real quick with Be Proud of Yourself is be proud of yourself for all that you've been through and what you're going through. I mean, you don't have to feel like, I feel like this group has felt like they've wasted a lot of time. They're like, oh, I've wasted so much time. And now I'm just like at this point where I want to transform, but I've just wasted so much time. And so what I'm seeing is you've learned a lot, and what you're learning in this period of your lifetime is going to help in these job things that you kind of have talents in, basically. And so being proud of yourself is kind of important here. It's like to make sure that you have that sense of self-esteem backing you before you enter these types of fields or before you get into these types of things. Let's go over your talents one by one. With Crafter, there's something wonderful just waiting to be expressed with your hands. So there's something that is a talent with your hands that could be beneficial. With the Wheel card here, I'm seeing that like when you create things, it brings you a lot of luck and positivity. So could be Crafter, could also be stuff like handmade items. Like I'm thinking of like, also I'm thinking of like fashion or something like that, or stuff where you make like purses or hats or something like that, or you make little hand goods for people. I'm seeing that that's really something that is beneficial for you guys, or is going to bring you a lot of luck. With Teacher in the Death card, I'm also seeing that it's interesting. I'm seeing you have to go through a major transformation to really ignite your abilities as a teacher. I feel like there's some kind of life skill you want to teach, or there's something you've been dying to share with the world. There's something you want to come out with and you want to share with people, and you want to show them the way, or you want to teach them about this specific thing. I'm seeing that you want to pass on your knowledge to other people. And with the Death card, I'm seeing that in order to do this, you have to leave a part of your lifestyle behind. I'm seeing whatever it is with this teacher career that's coming through, you would have to make a strong dedication to this teacher career. I'm seeing that it would involve leaving behind certain people that you love, but have also destroyed you in the past. Or people that have kind of been romantic, or the people that you viewed as soulmates, but actually seem more problematic or troubling than what you would think like a typical soulmate is. Really, I'm saying you have a message to share, you have a message to say, you have a thing to teach, you have a thing to tell people. And with the Death card, it means you're gonna have to go through a major transformation in order to be able to start sharing this message. For example, you might have to leave certain people behind, or you might have to advanced spiritually far enough where you can start sharing this message. I'm seeing something like that. For others of you with the laborer with the Ace of Pentacles, I'm seeing that if you just take up a typical laborer job, you actually would enjoy it kind of quite a bit. And there's also this aspect to the laborer where it's like with the Ace of Pentacles, you would make a quick buck or you would make good money as a laborer. It would be something that you could do temporarily too. With the Ace being a brand new card, it's like with being a single one, it's like you could do it temporarily or do it for a short amount of time and be totally fine, like taking on odd little labor jobs and making money with that. You might actually land specific jobs as a laborer or mixing your career as a crafter and a laborer together. You might land certain odd jobs where you make a big amount of money. Like I'm talking with the Wheel and the Ace of Pentacles combined, I'm talking like a big source of money, like a one-time only windfall of cash or something on a specific job that could last you maybe like 5 or 6 years just by one job that you could do in a month. So I'm seeing something like that for you guys. There's something along the lines of crafting and working with your hands and working in kind of a field like that that could really provide you with a lot of income. It's like you have the opportunity to really use your skills, your crafting abilities and your labor abilities to work for like a week or 2 weeks or something like that, and then make a ton of money for like 6 months and basically have like enough money where you can live off of it. So I see you working very little with these two jobs and actually making a lot of money in the future. With Justice, I'm seeing that there are some issues. It's like throughout your life, you've run into some issues with the law. So I'm seeing that this is one of those things that's a shadow attribute with the Devil here. It's showing me that this is kind of very similar to group 1 with animals. It's showing me that with this Justice card and the Devil, it's like you've had some run-ins with the law in the past. It's like you've been in tricky situations. You've had certain things with the police or, you know, the court system or something like that. Or there's something about breaking rules that you kind of have this vibe where you want to like break rules or you have broken rules in the past. And with the Devil card here, we're saying that if you transform this shadow attribute of your wanting to rebel and kind of look at the dark side of yourself or why you want to rebel against the rules, I'm seeing that you might have a transformation where you look at rules in a new light. And with the Justice card here, you might actually be able to not only like see the rules finally, but also be able to work well within those rules. And I'm seeing this is kind of like a healing journey for you, that if you want a lot of soul growth with your career, working in the justice system could be beneficial because you kind of know what it's like to try to evade the justice system. Is kind of what I'm seeing. It's like, you know what it's like to kind of like, and this could just be the simple fact for some of you that like maybe you try to avoid jury duty or something, or maybe you try to avoid going to court and like working on a jury or something. And so something about confronting that fear and like actually going and kind of working within the system of law or something like that could actually be very beneficial for you if you're wanting to confront that shadow. I see here with the Devil that it's like you feel it's something you're chained to that you can't escape. It's like you can't escape. This could also be for some of you, maybe you were forced into a career in the justice system and you feel like you can't escape that career. You feel like you can't escape or you're trapped in that specific career and you want out. You want to do something different. I'm saying that you can do something different. I'm saying that even if you do, if you don't want to do this career in justice, if you're seeing this card, you're like, oh my gosh, again? You know, it's like, I'm seeing that you can escape this. You have these other options. Specifically, I'm seeing with the Death card and the Teacher card here, this might be your ultimate life path, but I am seeing with the Death card that you might have to move farther along on your life journey before you become this teacher figure. I feel like you will have a message to share. I feel like you already do have some things you want to share. You have a message to share. You have something you want to say to people, but I feel like you're still working on what that is, or you're still developing those ideas or concepts that you want to teach. For some of you, this could just indicate that the teacher career might have a lot of, how do I put this, years of schooling. So for example, you might have a lot of years of schooling for the teacher career. And with the Death card, I'm seeing you have to leave behind certain attitudes. With the Destroyer and the Dawn Wand, you have to leave behind your kind of romantic attitudes, or you have to leave behind your how do I put this? With the Death card, it's interesting because I'm seeing this transformation is like part of this Destroyer energy, but you have to transform this Destroyer energy into kind of that death transmutation energy. I'm seeing It's interesting. It's almost like instead of destroying other things or destroying people or situations or kind of destroying like things in your environment that aren't doing the best or not working correctly or something like that, you kind of have to destroy your kind of own sense of self to rebuild it again. And then that's going to give you kind of these lessons or these things that you need to teach, that you want to teach others. Mainly, one of the things that I'm definitely seeing though, like something that's really strong as far as like how much money you can make doing it, is something with your hands, crafting something with your hands. Or like homemade items or something like that could benefit a lot of luck. You could have a lot of luck in that department. And also with the laborer over here, I'm seeing that like working with your hands on bigger projects, like with construction, or taking like something that was like a craft or a mock-up and building it in a bigger form. Like this could be anything with like architecture or design or something like that. With the Ace of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, I'm seeing you doing a project, making a ton of money and being able to live off that money for like 6 months. And if you want to, you can take on another project and have more money to live off of. But I'm seeing you making a solid amount of money with these laborer jobs and these crafter jobs. I'm seeing some kind of like high-end construction, artistry, kind of like architect type vibe, like designer almost. But I am seeing you working more in the kind of like one of the more lower tier construction points of this job. So I'm seeing you as kind of like the second hand of some famous designer or something like that. Or I'm seeing you as kind of one of the workers for some famous designer who kind of tells you their plans or something, and then you work on that product for them. I'm seeing something like that with the wheel here and the Ace of Pentacles, something that could be very beneficial. These are two cards about really good luck and windfalls. So I'm definitely seeing that. Yeah, with the Teacher, I just see this as kind of something that's coming later in life. And with the Justice card, this is coming through as just a sense of like, you're not tied to this, is what is one of the messages. And for those of you who are curious about this type of career and you're kind of feeling like you want to confront that fear of going against the law or dealing with the law or kind of what rules represent, I feel like you might actually be very beneficial in this type of role once you kind of go into this field. So this could be something that's a fear that maybe you're curious about, but is also a fear. But be proud of yourself no matter what stage you are in life. I see that with Destroyer and Don Juan, you've had a tough run of luck, specifically romantically and with people who are maybe more toxic. And maybe you had to kind of break away from specific people in your life. And maybe you've had kind of a journey that, I don't know, it just seems like you've had kind of a tough journey. And with be proud of yourself, I just want to tell you that it's important to be proud of yourself and be proud of your accomplishments and what you can do and what talents you have, you know? I'm seeing that like you do have the ability to teach, you do have the ability to craft products, you do have the ability to work hard at something and get kind of like a good return from it. You do have skills, and so I'm definitely seeing that like, don't think you don't have skills, you know, and be proud of yourself. With last quarter moon in Taurus season might be specifically beneficial for you as far as like creating epiphanies for what you want to do next in your career. You might actually have a lot of great ideas during Taurus season. With last quarter moon, be proud of yourself. I feel like right when the moon is going back to being a full moon, I'm specifically seeing like right before not the full moon, right before the new moon, I'm seeing that like one beneficial thing is a time to like reevaluate your situation. And also with be proud of yourself right before the new moon, it's like that's the moment to really like look within and like praise yourself for your accomplishments. I'm seeing like also little rituals where you go outside and you maybe like stand in the sunlight and let the sun soak in and let the energy of how do I put this? The sun has like lioness, like Leo energy basically is in the sun. And so it's like when you absorb that, you can absorb that pride or that sense of lion pride. And so I'm definitely saying that you guys could benefit a little bit from working with this laborer here. He's kind of in the sunlight. I'm definitely seeing you guys could benefit working in the sun. Or absorbing the sunlight or just going outside and letting the sun soak into your skin and kind of be like, wow, I really feel that energy. I feel that pride in myself. I feel that sense of, it's hard to explain. It's like a sense of satisfaction with yourself, you know, or you feel like you're on the right path or something along those lines. So yeah, I'm even looking at your stone here, and with this stone, it's like there's a little yellow peeking through the gray. So maybe on those sunny days, if you live in an area where there's lots of gray skies, maybe on those sunny days, going outside and soaking up the sun is going to be really beneficial for you guys. All right, so that's the end of your reading. If you guys like this reading, please feel free to like or comment below. If you really enjoyed this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick-a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. With that said, that was the last reading for today, last group for today. So I really enjoyed reading for you guys. I will see you in the next pick-a card. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.